What's up, CFO gang? It's your boy J Tuck. Real Cowboys fans, stand up. And yo, Cowboys Nation, it is officially game day, y'all. And I am fired up, y'all. I mean, it's about 22 degrees here in Kansas City. I got up, I just ran 3 miles in the freezing cold, but I'm on fire right now because my Dallas Cowboys, our Dallas Cowboys, have to get this win today. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it, y'all. We got to make things happen, and we are definitely going to talk about that. So got a few things I want to chime in on as we go through the scouting report, some of my keys to victory, and then what I'm going to do, fam, I am going to turn on the phone lines, and we're just going to have some fun, man. Y'all know how we do on this channel. We like to keep things lit and exciting, so I want you guys to call in, chime in. If you are fired up for game day, man, I need to get some fires in the chat, though. Can I get some fires in the chat, man? Can y'all light this thing up for us, man? Because a lot of people are starting to count out our Dallas Cowboys, and I'm just not with it, y'all. I'm just not with it, and I feel like this team is going to thrive and come through and get the victory, man. So salute to everyone. I see the entire family's here. I see my girl Camber's in the building. I see my guy Joe all the way from Italy. I see Benny Blanco in the building. Cowboys fan 1112's in the building, man. Chris, Matthew, everybody salute, man. So like I said, I am going to turn the phone lines here soon, and then we are going to get this thing really rolling, man. But y'all see me, man. Sometimes when y'all can see how J Tuck is dressed on game day, that pretty much sets the mood of how I'm feeling, man. I got my Micah on, I got my Dez on, man. I am not playing games today because we desperately need to get this victory, man. And a lot of people are counting the Cowboys out. They're counting us out. They don't think that this is going to be a game that we can win. I see a lot of people talking about the Cowboys aren't going to make the playoffs, this and that. Now, before we chime in, I'll say this. I feel like what happened last Sunday versus the Green Bay Packers, which is a horrible team, man. I feel like the Cowboys got embarrassed a little bit. I mean, they came off the bye week, they kind of sleptwalked and got slapped in the face a little bit. And you saw what Green Bay looked like on Thursday, y'all. It was just frustrating. It was frustrating as hell to sit back, watch that Packers game, and just be like, this is the team that we lost to. So I feel like the Cowboys, they kind of had that same sentiments as we all kind of shared watching that game on Thursday. And the thing that I love most, right, is that I feel like our defensive players, they got embarrassed. We've been giving our defense so much credit and so many flowers, and rightfully deserved, because they've been holding us down this entire season, right? When Cooper Rush was at the helm, at quarterback, we needed our defense to really come through and hold us down. But what I was trying to say in my post-game video, it's okay to say, yo, defense, y'all let us down last week, right? And here's the thing I love the most about our players. They know it. They know it. Now, some people, they want to blame the quarterback. That's the simple blame, right? But I feel like you heard Micah Parsons come out and speak about it. You heard Jaron Curse. Even Trayvon Diggs says this is unacceptable, right? We have to play better. We failed our team and failed our quarterback. So I'm really expecting for this defense, y'all, to come out on fire today. I just see it. Now, will the offense come out on fire too? I don't know, because as a Cowboys fan, we never get to see what it looks like when both powers combine. We never get to see that, man. It's either one or the other, right? Defense is holding teams to under 20 points. They're shutting down the Bucks. Offense can't score. Offense is playing lights out, scoring almost 50 points, and defense can't stop a nosebleed, right? But I just want to see this team, when we connect on all three phases, offense, defense, and also special teams, what this team could really look like. Because I believe if they were to do so, it would get scary. It would get scary for a lot of NFL teams if that was to happen. So let's go ahead and get into some of my keys to victory for this game over the Minnesota Vikings, right? Salute to everyone in Minnesota. We got a lot of Cowboys fans in Minnesota. I know a lot of them are going to the game. So if you're going to the game, definitely represent. Now, the first thing we all know, got to stop the run. You got to stop the run. You got to stop the run. I see my guy, William Anthony. Defense needs to have a mentality to stop the run, to get to sack. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Take care of business first. Then that's when the fun starts, right? And I feel like when you go back and watch the film, now, to be honest with you, I only really got to go back because this week has been super hectic because hell, Thanksgiving is coming up next week. But I only got to really watch and crunch 3 film sessions when it came to the Vikings. And I really went through the Buffalo Bills game and I went through Philly, right? But just like my girl Camber just said, you got to set the edge, right? There was a lot of instances, you know, if you go back and watch what happened versus the Packers for the Cowboys, the edge just wasn't getting set. And what you're seeing is a lot of compressed formations, like tight formations, right? I mean, they don't have people on the wide receivers on the outside to simplify things, right? They're getting in these compressed formations. And to be quite honest, they are making 7-Eleven pay for it. Because here's the thing. They're looking at these compressed sets and saying, all right, you might have Dorrance Armstrong or you might have DeMarcus Lawrence as your outside defensive end, but on the outside, we have a wide receiver, right? So in that case, what that does is it makes Trayvon Diggs kind of your outside edge setter. And let's just run. We know Trayvon Diggs can intercept balls out the air, but does he want to tackle all game? Let's see, right? So you're seeing a lot of these types of formations when it comes to Dallas Cowboys, but also what you're seeing is a lot of counters, a lot of sweeps, and getting off on the edges. So like Camber just said, you have to set the edge. I play defensive end, also outside linebacker. The one thing you want to do, you want to kind of turn your cheeks, right? They say, Tucker, turn your cheeks. Like you want to show your cheeks pretty much to the stands, right? Because you want to have that outside leverage and not let that tight end get the outside or that tackle get the outside. And once you do that, you pretty much seal the outside and force the running back to cut inside where your linebacker should be flowing. Now, Micah Parsons also spoke about that, right? We gotta rush in our gaps. We gotta stay in our gaps. Everyone has to play assigned football when it comes to the run. You can't just start taking it personal and just be like, no, I'm just gonna do whatever I want to do. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's a chain. Everything defensively has to be in sync when it comes to stopping the run. But also, man, it really comes down to pride. You gotta have some pride. You gotta have a sense of pride and say, you know what? I am not gonna let this team just run all over me, right? You know what I'm saying? Like when you go back to what happened in Green Bay, you know, like Aaron Jones broke off and scored a touchdown and jumped in the end zone and grabbed himself in the air. Like you should take that personal as a defensive player. That's when you should say, oh, hell no, that is not happening again. But for some reason, it just continued throughout the game. Salute to our girl Aisha Morris in the building. Superstars in the building, man. I'm honored. Salute to my girl Aisha. Definitely give her a follow. Also give my girl Camber a follow as well. They are doing incredible things when it comes to Dallas Cowboys content. And like, I'll say this, man. I'll say it. Cowboys content creators, our ladies hold it down. Our ladies hold it down. They are killing out there. And honestly, I'll put them against a lot of you guys, you know, so our ladies definitely know their stuff. They do incredible work. So definitely give them a follow, man. Those are my sisters there. But yeah, you have to set the edge and take it personal. Now I'm expecting this game. She says, knock it off. You know, she's a superstar. I'm expecting y'all for this Dallas Cowboys defense to take it personal. And this is the game, y'all, where I know Micah Parsons was kind of rookie last year. He's kind of the new guy and kind of a few things here and there. I think this is the game where things tend to transcend and we're going to lean on Micah Parsons, and Micah Parsons is going to fully grow this game. I can kind of see his temperament. You know, he really didn't like the way he played last week. You know, the way he kind of carried himself on social media, the things he was saying in the interviews, like Micah Parsons is really about to just step up and play lights out, man. I feel like this is going to be the Micah game. He's going to get sacks. He's going to be stopping the run. He's going to shut down the edge. That's what he said. I got to lace things up and set the edge. Micah Parsons is going to come out and set the tone, and I believe this entire defense will follow after that. But you definitely have to focus on, because y'all know I love my Cowboys, but I also love my Seminoles, man. And Dalvin Cook, I mean, he's phenomenal, man. So if you give Dalvin Cook the opportunities that you gave Aaron Jones, it could be a long day. So first and foremost, you have to stop the run. Now, secondly, this is why coming into this game, even before Green Bay, I had tweeted this, like, this is the game I'm most kind of curious about to kind of see what is the temperament of this Dallas Cowboys team. Because not only do they got Madison, they got Dalvin Cook, but damn it, they got one, I pretty much would say the best wide receiver in the NFL currently with Jefferson, man. And he can do a lot of things. So this is going to be the first team that I believe. Now, granted, the Bengals could have did it, but they just didn't do it for some reason. Kind of let us off the hook, right? And even though you kind of have it with Philly, they really didn't attack in the air. But Minnesota is going to want to attack you downfield and get the ball into Thielen's and also Jefferson's hand. And they also add the tight end in Hawkinson from Detroit as well. So they're a little bit more balanced than a lot of the offenses that we face. So I'm curious to kind of see, like, all right, how is things going to shape out? Because you can't just overcommit to the run, right? If you shut down Dalvin Cook and you shut down Madison, you can't load the box. You can't just have, Diggs on the island and Anthony Brown on the island and Deron Bland on the island. You're going to need some help, right? So this is going to be a game where Dan Quinn, you got to roll up your sleeves a little bit, and salute to my guy, Professor O. We talked about this off cam. It's just like, when you watch this Dan Quinn's defense in the past few weeks, a lot of stunts, right? A lot of stunts. And there's a lot of formations and packages we come out in. It's leaving massive run lanes, right? So if your linebackers aren't able to get up there and field, it's about 4 to 5 yards a clip, right? So it's just like, I feel like Dan Quinn really has to adjust and get this thing shut down. But like I said, you can't overcommit. You can't say, you know what, we're going to go cover 1 or cover 3, have one single high safety and Malik Hooker, and kind of leave Anthony Brown on an island with Justin Jefferson. Don't do that. I'm telling you right now, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, right? So you're going to have some help, over the top as well. So I'm really curious to see how this defense really fins out. Now, when it comes to this Dallas Cowboys defense, right, we know the one thing that we do is get pressure. And somebody has said it in the chat, right? Stop the run, then you get the right to sack, right? Get the right to pass rush. You know what I'm saying? It's like your kids, right? Eat your dinner, eat your vegetables, then you get dessert, right? You got to earn the right to pass rush. And I feel like you go back to last week, the Cowboys really didn't earn the right to pass rush because Green Bay's like, you know what? We just going to continue to run the ball. And I will say this, when it comes to the Vikings, they're not like the Cowboys, right? You know how the Cowboys do, right? The run game is working. We just kind of just get away from it because, you know what I'm saying? Get away from what works. I feel like the Vikings, if Dalvin Cook is cooking, they're going to have to make it be a Dalvin Cook game. All right, so Aisha just gave us some reports. So no Anthony Barr today. So with Anthony Barr out, that really lets me think, tweak this hammy thing. Okay, so no Anthony Barr today. Now we have to have a conversation at the linebacker position, y'all. Do you want Micah playing linebacker full time, or do you want him being the edge rusher and you might go out there with like a Damone Clark again and let him play the middle linebacker? Let me know what y'all think in the chat, because I'm kind of both ways with this, right? But I saw it with my own eyes. Because I was like, you know what? Maybe we should put Micah back there because we have so many different pass rushers and Sam Williams, Dorrance Armstrong, D-Law, also Basham, and then also Fowler as well. They can get enough pressure off the edge where you can have Micah kind of be your guy that can scrape in space. But after kind of seeing it last week, y'all, nah, I'm just Micah's an edge rusher now. I'm sorry. Micah's just an edge rusher right now, y'all. I just don't like him, at middle linebacker, because if you play Micah at linebacker, what teams are able to do and offenses are able to do, they're able to scheme for him. You know what? I don't want this Lion coming after my quarterback. He can go cover Dalvin Cook out there in space. You know what I'm saying? I don't want Micah coming after my quarterback. Let's come into a formation where now he has to cover the slot guy. You know what I'm saying? Or let's put him in a position where he has to spy, drop back in a cover 2 and cover the hook, right? I want him away from Kirk Cousins. I don't like that. So for me, if Anthony Barr is out, like Aisha is saying, I think that you might just go with Damone Clark. Now, here's the question everyone asked me 1,000 times on social media. Tuck. What is going on with Jabril Cox? I don't know. Can't tell you. I feel like he's fully recovered from the injury. You can't use that against him. I just don't know. I just don't know how Damone Clark came off the injury and just kind of leapfrogged Jabril Cox, because the glimpses that we saw from Jabril Cox last year, you had to be excited about the upside and just from the speed potential, but there must be something going on in-house where they don't trust Jabril like we think they should, right? So if Damone Clark is your quote-unquote guy, you put him in for Anthony Barr and you still allow Micah Parsons to be your free roamer. But here's where Dan Quinn has to mix it up when it comes to Micah, y'all. You can't just blitz him on the edge, right? Blitz him all over, right side, left side, A gap, B gap. Really go back to using Micah Parsons as that chess piece, so that way the offensive line has to communicate where he's at all times. You know what I'm saying? You have to communicate where he's at all times, versus if he's just on the right side, okay, we're just going to put another tight end over there, chip block, and try to take him out to play. No. Flip. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different things that Dan Quinn can do creativity-wise when it comes to Micah Parsons that we definitely have to see, but I'm personally a fan, y'all. He's an edge rusher. I know they want to kind of put him back at linebacker so he can get paid like a linebacker. No, Micah Parsons is an edge rusher. Let him set the edge. Let him get pressure. Let him do what his God-given abilities, have blessed him to be able to do, and just go out there and hunt. And that's what I'm all for this game. Let's see here. What happened to the A-gap blitzes that was so good last year? Yeah. And like I said, I got my cursor of your name, Newsome. I feel like Dan Quinn is doing a lot of stunning when it comes to defensive line, right? So stunts, y'all know stunts, right? Like if you're a defensive end, you might go inside, the defensive tackle might loop outside. That's a stunt, quote unquote, right? But I feel like they're doing a little bit too much trickery. Well, yo, just send heat, because a lot of these quarterbacks, right? You want the outside pressure to come, but what really gets quarterbacks rattled? Let me know in the chat. Y'all know the answer to this, right? When you have to be able to step up in the pocket and you got a linebacker in your face, you got a defensive tackle in your face, you got your center getting pushed back where you can't really step into your throws, it changes a lot as far as your mental clock as a quarterback, but also your rhythm, right? Because if I'm dropping back in a 3-step drop, boom, 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 I'm going a step forward, and all of a sudden it's all this big, massive cluster in my face. It throws off sync, right? Versus with the outside guys, you can kind of feel that pressure, get off of it a little bit, right? But the interior pressure in your face, just like B. Bird just said, is critical. That's where we need to get back to. And, I know that we have Bohanna, you kind of have Watkins and Hankins, like they're really not pressure guys. Now they'll sit there and kind of hold up your center, right? And play the gaps, right? Kind of two-gap your system. But you got to have some type of flow, some type of pressure coming in those gaps, whether it's LVE, whether it's going to be Clark or Micah Parsons. I feel like that's something the Cowboys need to get back to. And so we'll definitely be paying attention, because if you're able to get pressure on Kirk Cousins, like I was just saying, his completion percentage drops from like a 94 to like a 66% when he's under pressure. So you got to get that pressure. And I know Kirk Cousins, Kirk Thuggins, Kirk O'Bangs, whatever they're calling him on the plane because he's got the chains on. He is who he is, right? We're very familiar with Kirk Cousins, and we know if you get him rattled, he'll toss that ball up. He'll toss that ball up, and he'll give it back to us. So we definitely got to get pressure. When it comes to the offense, y'all, I know we're kind of talking about, Odell Beckham Jr. is saying he's supposed to visit next week. He plans to maybe join a team after Thanksgiving. That's a little too late for me, bro. That's a little too late. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need you now, right? But we saw what CeeDee Lamb was able to do offensively last week. CeeDee Lamb had his best game of the season last week. But I need someone else to emerge, wide receivers. Michael Gallup, I think we're now at the time where it's like, all right, I'm pulling the injury card away from Michael Gallup. You know what I'm saying? I'm pulling the injury card away from Michael Gallup. If you're out there, I need you to fully step up, right? Because we need someone else, whether it's a wide receiver, to really step up and take the opportunity away to get some more pressure on the defense. Now, we know they have Patrick Peterson out there as a corner, but their other corners, they're kind of limited, right? Though the Vikings are able to get interceptions, which we'll talk about that here in a second, right? But I feel like there's going to be some opportunity in the air. Noah Brown, we kind of saw him with Cooper Rush, then kind of vanished. Noah Brown, we need you to step up. I see my guy Mills is missing Tolbert. If y'all saw my tweet, bro, I closed my tab. Y'all know, y'all ever been at the bar, man? Y'all kind of open a tab for your friends or for your buddies, man. They kind of drinking, but they drinking a little too much. You got to tell the waiter, close that. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at with Jalen Tolbert, y'all. Like, after last week, y'all know I'm a huge Jalen Tolbert supporter. I dropped the very first video. I kind of coined myself as the founder of Jalen Tolbert. But last week was unacceptable, bro. Like, lining offsides, nah. Like, that's just mental peewee football errors. So for some reason, it's just not up here with Tolbert. And when you show those type of mishaps, right, here's what really happens. Not only does the coaching staff not trust you, but the quarterback damn sure ain't trusting you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I need a guy that Dak can fully trust. And so if that has to be Noah Brown, it needs to be Noah Brown or Michael Gallup, but someone needs to step up. Now, me personally, I was saying Dak spoke very highly about Dennis Houston. You know what I'm saying? So you might want to consider maybe going, I don't know, whoever that needs to be, someone needs to step up. Yeah, we already talked about Barrs out for the game today, so we talked about a few different examples at linebacker and what that means, whether it's going to be Clark or Micah Parsons. I think it's going to be a little bit of rotation of both. But when it comes to the offense, Kellen Moore, man. Kellen Moore, I know you a subscriber to this channel. I know you be watching Kellen Moore. Stay balanced. Stay balanced. Now, I know that the Vikings defense, they're pretty much tops in rushing yards allowed, right? So they're pretty solid when it comes to stopping the run, but you got to commit to it. You got to commit to it and can't become so one-sided and one-dimensional where it's, all right, they're really able to peel back their ears and come after the quarterback. And I feel like even though Zeke is kind of limited, people said that he's going to be wearing the brace. He practiced just fine. Kind of looks like a shell of himself. I feel like Zeke is a competitor, y'all. If Zeke is out there, Zeke is going to compete. You give them a high dose of Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. You do. I love the Cowboys, what they started off with versus Green Bay. Even they kind of got out to some 3-and-outs and whatnot. Continue the tempo, get the run game involved, quick throws, get the ball out of Dak's hands, right? And you could do a variety of different things to keep the Vikings defense off balance. But if you want to come out and drop back and throw 40+ times, I just don't feel like the Cowboys can win this game, y'all, if we're trying to be this high-flying, profiling offense where we're kind of coming out and just trying to put up these massive numbers and airing the ball out. You got to stay balanced. And I feel like the way that you do that and really open things up is with the run game. Now, I posted something on Twitter that a lot of people, kind of looked at like, well, damn, Tuck, that's kind of right? Everyone thinks about what was Tony Romo's best season, right? Take Dak out of it. Tony Romo's best season, right? A lot of people believe, self-included, 2014 was his best season overall, the Dez Carter year, right? What happened that year, y'all, that nobody really wants to talk about? DeMarco Murray was the NFL rushing leader. DeMarco Murray was the NFL rushing leader and the offensive player of the year. Nobody batted eye. No one said DeMarco Murray carried Tony Romo. Those narratives was not there. And Tony Romo had arguably one of his best seasons, right? Even go to 2016. Dak Prescott, rookie of the year. Zeke, rushing champ, right? It's okay to have a run game and build off of that your passing game, right? But I feel like, everyone kind of gets caught up in the allure of Pat Mahomes, right? Yeah, exactly. Salute to my guy West Coast. Run the damn ball. I'm gonna remix it and say run the effing ball, right? But yeah, if you look at what can really happen, look across the league. Jalen Hurts, I know he's an ego, whatever. He's having his best season, right? But he ain't dropping back throwing 40+ times. A lot of people are saying, I like what Justin Fields is starting to get a little bit. He ain't dropping back throwing 40+ times. The Titans, right? I saw the Titans with my own eyes, y'all, banged with the Chiefs and didn't even complete a pass. You know what I'm saying? So if you're able to really get the run game evolving, and we have the offensive line to do it, most importantly, but we have the running backs to do it as well, get them involved, let them set up the passing game, and it's going to open up things for Dak Prescott in this offense and this wide receiver core. I just believe it is, right? I just believe it is. Because here's my frustration when it comes to the Cowboys, y'all. If you wanted to be this 40-plus, air the ball out attack team, then don't get rid of Amari Cooper. You could have got rid of Ezekiel Elliott. Get running the ground, guys. If you want to be this high passing profile team, you keep your weapons at the wide receiver position. Don't change that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that doesn't make sense to me. So I feel like right now it needs to be Zeke Pollard, and we build the passing game off of that. And I feel like Dak will be just fine because Dak has that additional layer this year where he's able to use his legs. Now you get the RPO. Now you get the quarterback draw. Now you get the quarterback sneak. Now you get so many things, the play action set up off the run game. It's going to open up so much downfield. But hey, Kellen, do you, boo-boo. So yeah, a balanced offensive attack. You got to commit to the run. Let's see here. Protection, right? You got to protect them. They got 26 sacks right now. They got Hunter. They also got Zadarius Smith. So they got some guys out there that can definitely get pressure. Salute to my guys. DMV, what's up? Definitely subscribe to my bro's channel. And then one important thing. I feel like what really happened last Sunday, y'all, the Cowboys didn't play to win. They played to prove a point. Mike McCarthy came out there in his jacket and couldn't sleep and was up at 3 a.m. at Starbucks, and he just wanted the game so bad. Those mental errors started to add up. You know what I'm saying? Those lapses started to add up. Lapses in judgment, right? Just play to win. We ain't got no points to prove. You know what I'm saying? I do not need Dak Prescott to come out here and outduel Kirk Cousins for me to feel satisfied. If Dak Prescott throws the ball 15 times and we get the win, I'm about to come right back on this channel and celebrate with y'all. I don't need. You know what I'm saying? Now, there are going to be some teams, Christmas, that I might want to dog walk a little bit and turn it up a little bit, right? But as of right now, just win, right? So don't have to play with this philosophy that we got to prove a point. Go out there, do what it takes. We know what the formula is, and play Dallas Cowboys football and relax. One thing that has me concerned, y'all, is that this team's coming out saying this is a playoff game. It's a must win. We got to win. We got to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, relax, breathe, relax, do what got you here. Do what got you here, y'all. Just stick to the formula and just don't get cute. But then also, y'all, this is a huge concern for me. We have to start playing clean football across the board. So many penalties is killing the drives when it comes to this Cowboys team. And the one thing, a simple fix, this is the J Tuck formula to a simple fix, clean football, right? And salute to my guy DMV, he coaches Little League football. Yo, special teams guys, right? Special teams guys. Bruh, don't talk, don't push, don't do nothing. But I feel like when you watch the Cowboys, every time there's a punt, every time there's a kickoff, there's pushing against the helmet. Bro, just run. Turpin fair catched it, bro. It was a fair catch. Stop getting these stupid penalties on special teams that backs our offense up, bro. Like, just run with your damn hands behind your back. Just stop. But every time there's a punt, there's a push, a shoving, I don't need no tough guys on special teams right now. You know what I'm saying? Don't be tough. Just run down there, let Turpin catch the ball, and just do your job. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to cut things out right there. But offensively, man, I know a lot of people are talking about, and we'll see how get out of your feelings. Like, it's just special teams. It's a punt. Just run down the field, right? Shield them off. Like, play like you're playing flag football. In flag football, you can't block. You got to block with your hands behind your back, right? Just give me a little flag football. Just stop with all of the emotional on special teams, because every time there's a punt return, there's some laundry. Back us all up. Back us up in our own goal line. Backing us all up, right? So this has to change, y'all, as far as the offense and also special teams. I mean, just across the board, right? We need to start playing much cleaner football because you can't give a team like the Vikings opportunity after opportunity because they will seize their moment, man. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the phone lines. Give your boy 1 sec here. Call in, man. But how are y'all feeling, man? Scale to 1 to 10. What is y'all confidence when it comes to this game, man? I know some people are like, Tuck, we're not going to win this game. There's no chance. Me personally, I feel like the Cowboys are going to come out. They're going to play with their backs towards the wall. And like I said, they're going to rally. They're going to rally. Now, we'll give all the predictions and do all that here in a second. But I feel like the Cowboys has got to just stick within themselves and play their game, man. So let me turn on the phone lines. Let's see here. Where you at? Where you at? And booyah. All right. So, yeah, go ahead and call in, man, 339-207-8118. I tried to get, like, a cute little phone number like Mike Jones had, like, doing this. Yeah, go ahead and call in, man, so we can definitely – but let me know how y'all feel, man. On a scale of 1 to 10, how are y'all feeling about this game in Minnesota versus the Minnesota Vikings? Now, here's the thing. I'll be completely honest with y'all. You know, there was a lot of things that bounced Minnesota's way in their last game versus the Bills, right? But they seized the opportunity. So I got my guy CB. He got 38-34 Dallas. Ooh, so I think it's gonna be a high scoring game. Okay, you know, we'll see. We'll see if it's going to be high scoring. I don't think it's going to be high scoring, and I'll say that because of this reason. Why? I think it's because we should be running the damn ball, and I think they're going to run the damn ball. All right, so let me go ahead. Caller. I think I know who this is, but caller, state your name. Where you from?
Hey, what's going on, man? It's John G, a.k.a. DMV from Arlington, Virginia.
Yeah, what's up, my guy, DMV? Can you hear me, bro? We good?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear, man. I know it's before the game. Got to come in, got to call in, bro. See how we doing. But as far as the game goes, I'm at about a 9 right now out of 10 as far as confidence. The more I thought about it, the more I'm like, we're playing Kirk Cousins, bro.
Right.
Like, don't make it harder than what it has to be. Not that Kirk isn't good, but at the end of the day, we had a monkey on our back last week about Aaron Rodgers. He has that same monkey on his back about Dallas. We've been whooping this dude's ass forever.
Right.
He got lucky the one time he did win.
Yeah. So let me ask you this though. But do you think that here's the thing, right? When you look at it, from Pat, because hell, we played the Vikings four years in a row. This is our 4th year in a row playing them, right? Do you think there will be any adjustments because of the way the Cowboys defense has played when it comes to Kirk Cousins, or do you think they're going to attack him in a similar fashion?
Because they do have different coaching, so it's not Mike Zimmer.
Right.
It's not going to be the same familiarity as far as scheme and stuff. We're probably going to have to adjust a little bit, but it's still the same Kirk against pressure. He's still with the new coaches, still the worst in the league at delivering the ball against pressure. Right. So you just got to go out there and handle business. That's pretty much it. I think that's been the sentiment you've been saying the whole time. Right. I agree. Yeah, I agree. So let me ask you this, bro. In order to get the pressure, how do you do it? Do you think that Dan Quinn, I know a lot of people in the chat was mentioning, blitzing a little bit more specifically in the A gaps and the B gap. Do you blitz them more? But I feel like with this offensive line, we could get pressure with 4 or 5. We don't have to get too crazy with versus the offensive line. But tell me what's your thoughts on that, bro? I think that you have to. I think the key to it is mixing it up, and we've had to move Micah to play the Mike a lot more with us struggling with the run. I think that might be who you're able to blitz. Sam Williams needs more snaps if we're going to be able to get more pressure with 4 and 5. Right. Sam Williams definitely has to play.
So let me ask you that, because that's been the hot topic button. So when it comes to Sam, do you think that Sam should get more reps over Dorrance, or where do you think those reps should come from?
Yeah, I think it has to come over Dorrance. Okay. I mean, D-Law playing solid football. Like, I know last week he played a little bit of ego football, but D-Law is still D-Law. Obviously, when he needs to blow, get him out and stuff like that. But I think that it has to come from Dorrance, because at the end of the day, that's who you drafted Sam Williams to replace. Right. It wasn't to replace D-Law. We just re-upped his deal. Right. You drafted him to be that right end. So if he's ready or if he's showing you more, then you got to put him in more. Right. Facts. All right, my guy. Well, before I let you go, man, what's your prediction on the game? I think Dallas wins I think it's gonna be a close one. I had it like 24 Dallas.
That makes sense.
At the end.
That makes sense, man. Let's go get this dub, my guy, man. Appreciate you, man. Everyone follow my guy DMV Fanatic, man. Post your link in the chat, man, so everyone can give you a follow, my guy.
I appreciate you, my guy. Thanks.
All right, bro. All right. I see. I think I know who this is. This card don't need no introduction. B Bird, what's going on, bro?
Hey, it's B Bird, man. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. How you feeling this Sunday morning?
I'm feeling very good, man. One thing you talked about was penalties, and I think we wash over that real, I think, too much. We've been facing that for the longest, even before McCarthy was here. But I think that there's no repercussions to penalties here. And what I would do, and I know it sounds a little drastic, but, I think only thing players understand is playing time. And understand, okay, what does this do to our team? Okay, is that important that we got to take you off the field? Well, why? Because, man, we can't have you doing those penalties. Because people say that, it's accountability, but if there's no repercussions to your actions, then there's no accountability. So,
right.
Guy does a dumb penalty, and then he's still out there on the field. I'm like, why are we not taking this guy off the field?
Right,
what I'm saying? I don't care who it is. You got to come out the field if you're making I'm talking about a bonehead penalty. I'm not talking about a defensive holding or something like that. I'm just saying a boneheaded penalty. But I think that needs to be, you spoke on them, glad it was in your points, but I think it needs to be talked about more, because if you look at our games, the ones that we've done well in, they've been really low penalty games. The ones that we start getting to the 8, 9, 10 double digits on penalties, we don't do well in those games at all. No team would, but we definitely have those games. And if you look at them, we pretty much took an L in all those. Yeah,
and I feel like the problem with it, Bird, is like a lot of the penalties they happen is at the most inopportune time, right? If you go back to the Philly game, right, the offsides, right, the jumping, you know what I'm saying? So like things like that can really kill your momentum. And specifically what happened last Sunday, it's just like, all right, we got the ball back, whatever's happened, it's here we are in overtime. But every time there was an opportunity for us to really make a play and push to actually win the game, there was laundry on the field, right? So you got to clean those things up. And like I said, specifically, the special teams, that's the very ground level. Like, just stop all of that. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, it's really hard at the NFL level to win games where you're getting 10 plus penalties, 15 penalties, especially at inopportune times, man. So I definitely agree there. It has to be cleaned up. And my frustration with it, Bird, is we go back to Oxnard, right? Mike McCarthy, the one thing we're focusing on is mistake-free football, clean up the penalties. I don't see no clean up with the penalties. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, what are you doing? So you might have to get to the players a different way. Like you mentioned, like, yo, you need to come sit. You know what I'm saying? If this was New England, some of these players would come sit. Now, they made zero hesitation pulling out Jalen Tolbert when he made the mistake because he's just a rookie, third-round pick, right? Yeah. Other players need to get that same treatment.
Yeah. So one thing you talked about is the 2014 and 2016 offenses, which I loved. What they were offenses that were run-based, run-heavy, and then we threw when we wanted to, not when we had to. The thing about it is we had good quarterbacks. We had Tony Romo, and then in 2016 we had Dak. The thing I love about that is that it's not that we couldn't pass, right? We wasn't like Chicago, who really, their passing game is not. No, we could, but we choose to run the ball first. And then when you compensate for us running the ball, putting more people in the box, now we're going to throw the ball. So we threw the ball when we wanted to. I really agree with that format. The NFL, they had a stat out that came out recently that said that the NFL teams are running the ball at an all-time rate. All of them. I think the average per carry is like 4.5 or something like that, which tells you that the league has understood that, hey, everybody's trending to these linebackers that are 225, 230, and, everybody's getting lighter. So how about we run the ball? I think that we should get back to that, but I think the only hindrance to that is that we had to do it under Cooper when he was quarterbacking. But since we got Dak back, Kellen Moore feels like, hey, I got my quarterback back and I can start throwing the ball now. But the thing about it is I think what we have is an offensive coordinator, not that he shouldn't be, but he's trying to showcase his skills to the rest of the NFL to be a head coach. And he's not just trying to win the game, he's trying to win it with some points, some style points. So he can get his next job or whatever. So when he goes into the off season looking, because that's the only thing I can explain, because I know like the running game works. It's been working. It worked under Cooper.
Right.
And why wouldn't it work under Dak even better? So
right.
I think we have an issue with Kellen Moore that's trying to audition for other jobs.
Yeah. And here's the one thing I would say, B-Bird. If Kellen Moore was in this room, I'd put my arm around his shoulders like, listen, bro, you had the number one offense and one of the number one pass offenses last year, and all them jobs still spun you and sent you right back here to Dallas, right? So just go win ball games now. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's the thing. It's like you don't need to try to prove no points. Just win the game. And you have players, and there's been so many instances from Cowboys fans. We saw back and saw what Tony Pollard was doing on Sunday. He's already averaging 4 to 5 yards a clip. Let's give him the ball and get up out there with the victory. There was no reason to continue to pass the ball. So I know a lot of people speak about, Mike McCarthy planned on not taking the field goal. He said when it happened on second down, right? He already planned they're going to go for it on fourth down. Cool. When it was third and 4, that should have been Tony Pollard. You know what I'm saying? Like, that should have been Tony Pollard. Now you put yourself in a 4th and 1 situation, or, maybe a 4th and 2, right? But they just didn't. They try to go with the pass. For whatever reason, the PI on CeeDee Lamb wasn't called, but that's the type of situation you put yourself in when you just don't commit, man. So before I let you go, my guy, what's your predictions for today's game?
I think we win this game, man. I think I did not like I kind of mirror you, and they're putting too much pressure on themselves in this game. You don't have to put that much pressure. We're not built like that right now mentally. Right. I think what you do is, when I have my kids playing youth sports, I try to take pressure off of them. I don't put more pressure on them. Right. When I take pressure off of them, now they can just go out there and just play the game instead of thinking about too much stuff and overanalyzing each play and all that kind of stuff. Just go play naturally. Right. So I don't like that. If they just go out there and play the game, now we do play well on the road. I don't know if we're favored or underdogs, but I feel like we're underdogs in this game.
I think as far as Vegas is concerned, we're favorites. We're favorites by 2, which is odd, to be honest with you, but
which is crazy. Yeah. And so, but I think in these scenarios we actually play pretty well. So I think that we're going to win this game, and hopefully we do. And we just continue to carry on, man. I appreciate you taking me on, man. My call, and I'll listen to you on offline, bro.
Hey, appreciate you, my guy, man. Let's go Cowboys. Peace. Right. All right. Keep the calls coming. Like I said, we're just kicking it back, chilling on a Sunday, man. Keep the questions in the chat as well. Hey, caller, state your name, where you're from.
In these scenarios, we actually play pretty well. So I think that.
Hey, caller, can you hear us?
Hey, it's Camber.
Oh, Camber, what's going on? What's going on? Hey, it's our girl Camber. What's going on with you?
Sorry, I was trying to turn. I had it on my laptop, and I was like, "Oh, I don't need this feedback going on."
Right, the looping feedback.
Right. I just kind of wanted to point out one thing that everybody's freaking out about this Vikings team and their record and everything like that. But in the long run, we need to look at the yardage that this team gives up. And you're talking 400 yards a game. And 7 of their wins have been by 1 score. Right. So this by no means is, I think we got to shake off last week and what happened with our defense and remember what got us here with them. And I just saw a lot of doomsday, and I'm thinking this is going to be a bigger dogfight than people are giving it credit for.
Yeah, and I think that's what happens is, we know Cowboys Nation, hell, we deal with them every day. It's just like they just panic a little bit, right? But I feel like what happened Sunday is like a lot of Cowboys fans just like throw it in the breathe and really relax and remember who we are. And just like you said, Camber, it's not like the Vikings had just been dominating and it's been running through things. Like if you go back and really watch that Bills game, there was so many different balls that bounced their way for them to get that victory. Now, granted, they took advantage of it, but I mean, it was 4th down and then Justin Jefferson makes a 1-arm catch and snatches it out of a defender's 2 hands. It's like those types of things happen, but it's like they're not been steamrolling a lot of these teams. And so there's a lot of opportunity for the Cowboys to really come in and win this game and still this victory on the road. But I feel like, just like you said, I think it's going to be a close battle. But like I said, the thing that I'm really focusing on is how is this defense going to respond, especially with the offense that can attack you on the ground and also in the air. So I'm definitely curious about that.
Right. And, and their average rushing a game is 107. They're giving up 118. And we've kind of shored up the middle a little bit with Hankins and what's gone on the last couple of weeks, but that setting that edge, like we talked about earlier. that seems to be a huge weakness. And it didn't matter what team it is. If you go back and look, they're able to run on that edge.
Yeah. And I feel like I said, we saw a lot of those tight formations, and there's like, you know what, we're going to make these corners tackle a little bit, so Diggs is well in tackling. But let me ask you this, Camper, because I know that Anthony Brown, from what I'm hearing, is going to give it a go. What is your thoughts on the opposite side of Diggs with Anthony Brown and also DaRon Bland? Do we need to make a move? How do we shore that up? Because I feel like once Jordan Lewis went down, I know a lot of us are optimistic when it came to DaRon Bland, but Anthony Brown just hasn't looked like himself from last season, which definitely has me concerned. And I know a lot of people aren't high on Kelvin Joseph. So what do you think the Cowboys need to do to fix this secondary as far as the corners are concerned?
Well, this year we've kind of got what we've got.
Right.
And I think people need to keep into mind with DaRon Bland. He hadn't played a full game,
right,
and got thrown in, and you can see it at times. I'm going to be screaming from the rooftops to draft a defensive back, back pretty early. Pretty early now.
I already got some film sessions lined up in the queue, man. Because like I said, for this mock draft, it's corner. You might draft 2 of them. Heck.
Right. Yeah, I'm good with that. Specifically for this game, and I know Dan Quinn hasn't had Diggs travel. He's got to travel on Jefferson.
Okay.
KJ and Bland just, he's going to eat them alive. And I would rather take my chances with those 2 against Osborne and Thielen than trying to cover Jefferson.
Yeah, and then,
it can't happen.
Yeah, and I'm spot on with you because, like I said, if you do not travel with Diggs, that's the first thing. If I'm Kirk Cousins, I'm gonna line Jefferson over there. Heck, I'm gonna line Thielen over there too. And just and try to take the.
They did it last week.
Yeah, exactly. And Aaron Rodgers, same quarterback, right? Right. Aaron Rodgers noticed that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was to the point where it's like, man, is Diggs even out there? But I feel like that was their game plan. They're gonna run the ball, and if I throw it, I'm not going to give number 7 the opportunity to make a game-changing play. I'm going to attack these. What are their names again? I'm going to attack them over there. And I know a lot of people was like, tuck me to go to Kelvin Joseph, and I'll say this. Kelvin Joseph is extremely talented, but when you watch the film, because I went back and crunched, there was so many miscommunications out there. He was just trying to get lined up, and I feel like there needs to be the opportunity in some of those blowout games where you can play these younger guys and get them the reps. But in a game like this, when you're playing one of the top wide receiver cores in the NFL, you can't. So I feel like our hands are tied where we got to go with Anthony Brown. That's what I said in my last video. Listen, I might sound crazy, but I need Anthony Brown back, to kind of give me some type of insurance. Maybe the concussion, he might have snapped himself back into who he was last year. Who knows? But, I just feel like with the Cowboys, with their cornerback, we're kind of limited.
I need, and I've loved Malik Hooker's play all year, but last week was undoubtedly his worst game of the season.
Right.
It was a bad game for Malik, so we need that back from him. I think the safeties are really going to have to step up in this game, and we're going to need to see their top play.
Yeah. So when you look at this Minnesota Vikings team, give me one thing, Camper, that offensively that concerns you, and then give me one defensively.
Offensively, you can go either way. I got 2. It's Cook and Jefferson. I think I'm more worried about Cook than I am Jefferson because if you mentioned it earlier, if you pressure Cousins, he makes bad decisions. He gets rough. He's not good with, in that kind of a situation. Now, on the defensive side, I'm okay. I do have to say that it is a really great thing that Desiree Smith is out because that's big for us.
Okay. So he's officially out?
So that helps. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I think I thought I saw Zadarius is out.
Okay.
Harrison Smith. They're secondary with Peterson. He's aging.
Right.
Bynum's a guy. Sullivan. I know they brought up Andrew Booth Jr., rookie. He could be exploited. But Harrison Smith is a guy. And I think he could be pretty disruptive.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, they're not a quite quote unquote shut down, secondary, but they have 10 interceptions. So they're fifth in the NFL right now. So, we can't have those lapses, right? Where, and I feel like with CD and Dak, whatever that is, they need to fix that, right? Because there's no excuse in the third season. Granted, he really hasn't had a full out season besides last year with Dak, those miscommunications can no longer happen, because it's costly. So yeah, I feel like, when it comes to their secondary, Harrison Smith is definitely that guy, because we all know he is fully capable of just making that game changing play, which we can't allow. All right. So Cameron, before I let you go, let everyone know where they can find you first and foremost, but also what is your predictions on today's game?
Yeah, okay, so you can find me on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays, I'm with Stevie J on Midday Due Diligence. And then Thursdays, hanging out with our guy Massey on Midday with Cam and Mass, and it's all on Pick Six Sports. Yeah. And my prediction is it's come down. It's going to be a nail-biter, Pat.
I know.
27-24 Cowboys.
27-24. So Mike McCarthy takes the field goal. That's what you're saying.
He better take the field goal.
Yeah, take the damn field goal. Exactly. Hey, Cameron, appreciate you for calling in. Take care. Let's go Cowboys.
Yep, thanks. Go Cowboys.
All right. Got more callers. Keep them coming. Y'all know Jay Tuck don't do noon games anyway, so keep it coming, man. Let's see here. Hey, caller, state your name. Where you from? Alabama. What's going on? This landlord?
Yes, sir. What's happening with you? CFO Jay Tuck in the building.
Hey, what's going on, my guy, man? Definitely give my guy landlord from Alabama a follow, man. He's out there killing it, my guy. All right, man. Talk to me, man. What's your thoughts on today's game?
Man, I feel real good about this game, actually, man. Like I said, we usually have the Vikings number, man, and they've been pretty hot lately. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We the perfect buzz off of them to run into, you know what I'm saying, and be humble, in my opinion.
Right.
I feel like we got a much better shot of stopping this team than they do stopping us. Mm-hmm. I know that much. I like my defense much better than I like theirs. Mm-hmm. That's just my opinion. Yeah. And, like against Justin Jefferson and Trey, I like Trey at least holding them down, slowing them up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I agree, man. If you go back, Justin Jefferson, hell, everybody finds some wood to knock on. He really hasn't, had those types of games versus the Cowboys thus far. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we're able to contain them, but I feel like our defense really just has to step up, man, because we got to limit the big plays. And salute to our guy, Professor O. He kind of dropped an article this morning on the Cowboys Wire about the explosiveness of their offense compared to our defense. So we fare well versus them. I just think this has to be the swagger back game. I feel like this has got to be the game that our defense gets their swag back, and I feel like it's going to happen. But like I said, it scares me, bro. Let's hope the offense gets their swag back too at the same time, because I'm gonna be pissed, y'all. I'm gonna be pissed if we hold the Vikings to 17 and we still come out with a 14-17 loss. You know what I'm saying? Because our offense can't get things on track. But I just think this team's gonna come out on fire, y'all, because of what happened on Sunday. Like I said, they got embarrassed. I feel like they laxed a little bit coming off the bye week. They were all up in OBJ La La Land and got clipped. I feel like this week's gonna be just focused on getting this win, man. But let's talk about this, landlord. When it comes to this Vikings offense, and I just asked Campbell this question, though, but I want to get your thoughts. Like, what's the thing that scares you the most when you go back and watch them? Like, all right, I just don't think our defense fares well versus this.
You already know what it is. That's on run.
Yeah.
That's what's kind of concerning.
Yeah.
But, like, one thing about it, though, I feel like the big play is the most threatening thing. Mm-hmm. I feel like even if we give up a few rushing yards, man, we hold them to 3 or we able to get them out the field on third down, we can still win this game.
Right.
As long as we don't give up big plays. If you see us giving big plays up, man, it might be a long Sunday. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But if we can stop them from getting all these electric type plays that we gave up last week against A-Rod and Christian Watson, as long as we don't give up them big plays, the back backbreakers, because we can survive in the red zone. Our defense does a pretty good job at holding people to 3.
Right.
That was very uncharacteristic last week and against the Bears. You know what I'm saying? We hold people to 3 points pretty well.
Right.
So as long as we can do that, man, I feel very confident in the outcome.
Yeah, and see, and I said that in the video, bro. Because I think someone mentioned in the chat, about these NFL offenses, going to the run game. I think B. Bird mentioned it. But it's like, I feel like when it came to what the Chiefs was doing, you had Tampa, you also had the Rams, right, with these high flying, high scoring. Also Dallas last year that could put up these points, in a clip just like that. I feel like the defenses say, you know what, we want to keep everything in front of us, and if we got to give up 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards a clip as they run down the field, but keep them out the end zone, that works in our favor, right? And so I feel like what really happened last week was the Cowboys was, they wasn't really getting killed on the run, but like you said, bro, they was then letting them get the explosive plays, and those were really the game-changing plays that changed the course of the game. You know what I'm saying?
The backbreakers, right?
Yeah, those were the backbreakers. Yeah, exactly. So you can't allow that, bro. So I feel like, even if we do give up some on the run, we just can't let the big Jefferson plays, the big Thielen plays downfield, because that will really changes things for you defensively. If we let them get 3 yards, 4, 5 yards, get them to the 20-yard line, hold them to a field goal, I'm taking that. So it's more about that bend but don't break mentality. But then last week we just got broke. You know what I'm saying? so yeah.
See, most DCs will take that.
Right.
Because the longer it takes you to score, the higher chances of you making a mistake.
Right.
So that works in the defensive favor as well.
Right.
So as long as you don't give up big chunk runs and then a big time play, we'll be fine. I think DQ will live with that.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Don't get carried away, though, giving up 7 yards of carry type stuff.
Yeah.
If you give up 3 to 4 yards and, get them on a decent third down every now and then and hold them to 3, I think that'll be pretty good.
Right, and also don't give them the penalties as well. Yeah. So man.
Don't do the penalties.
Right. Face mask and all that. Tacking another 15 on top of that 10. But my guy, I appreciate you for calling in, man. Before I let you go, man, once again, let everyone know where they can find you and what's your predictions for today's game.
Oh, yeah, man. First, I do the prediction. My score prediction, I just put on my page. I feel like it'll be Cowboys 35-21. And, just like Jay Tuck said, man, I go by Landlord from Alabama on all social media. Holla at your boy.
That's what's up. Definitely
Shout
give
out
my
to
guy a
CFO
follow, man.
Sports. Shout out to Jay Tuck.
Yeah, appreciate you. Appreciate you, my guy. Peace, bro. Let's get this win.
All right.
All right, y'all. So man, I'm feeling good, Cowboys Nation. Like I said, I think this game is going to be a little bit closer than some of the predictions I see in the chat, man. I'm seeing 45-23. Like I would love that, man. But I feel like this game is going to be a little bit different, a little bit closer. So I have the Dallas Cowboys winning this game. I got us at 27-24. That's what I'm going with. I feel like it's going to be a last minute field goal. But y'all, if it's tied up and we get in Maher range, and then he doesn't take the field goal and he goes for it, I'm going to explode, right? But I feel like, 27-24 Cowboys. I feel like we're going to get this win, y'all, because I feel like the Cowboys are going to come out on fire. And like Camber said, even though this Vikings team is 8-1, it's not like they've been running through the NFL. It's not like they've been some dominant powerhouse. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this. We definitely got to bring our A game. And we got to limit our mistakes. But I feel like this is a game the Cowboys must win. I see my guy Rigo in the building. He says, do we panic if we lose? I will. Because like I said, bro, this was the game, like I said, even before Green Bay. So even if we won the Packers game, this was the game I kind of had circled. Like, all right, I can always kind of gauge, the Cowboys season off of certain moments. And I feel like this was going to be that game where I can kind of see, all right, so if we come out here, y'all, and let's say the Vikings just dub us and we look bad, mock drafts, you know what I'm saying? Mock drafts, you know what I'm saying? But I just don't see that happening, but it could, you know what I'm saying? But they're definitely going to have to build off of, what happened on Sunday. But, you never want to count a team out. But here's the problem that we're running into. We know what the Eagles done, even though they got their one loss. You look at their schedule, it's light. The Giants, they're in the way, even though we play them next week, right? Their schedule's kind of light. Now, not only do you have the Giants and the Eagles ahead of us, the team in Washington, they're starting to kind of get their confidence up because they got rid of Carson Wentz like I kind of told them to, right? And if you look at their schedule, it's kind of light. So the gaps in between the NFC East, you can't have a two game losing streak. Like you can't kind of have these types of lapses in your schedule, right? Because things are a lot closer than expected. And you got, NFC overall, some teams are beating some teams right here, you know what I'm saying? Because I know there's going to be some opportunity, but you don't want to get yourself in that situation. And I tell people this last year, right? We was 12-5 last year. We felt like the Cowboys was the best team in the NFC East, but let's keep it a buck. We all kept looking over our shoulder like, damn, Philly's still just right there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, we're out here cooking, you know what I'm saying? 6 games, you know what I'm saying? They're still over our shoulder. So now we're still, even though I feel optimistic about the Cowboys team in the season thus far, it's crowded. It's very crowded. So you cannot have these lapses. And I feel like the team, they feel it. So they know that they got to go in to Minnesota and come out of a win because they cost us one last week in Green Bay, man. So, like I said, I'm excited about today's game. I feel like the Cowboys will win this game. Got to do the things that I mentioned earlier. Get pressure on Kirk Cousins. He's going to give you the opportunity for the turnovers. We got to just stop the run, but do not give up the big explosive plays and let the run game, Kellen Moore, be your foundation. And let's get this win, man. It's your boy, Jay Tuckman. I appreciate all the support. Comment, like, subscribe, man. If I do not talk to you guys again, of course, I'm going to drop more videos, do more post-game videos. But if I don't see you guys again, I need all of you to do me a favor, right? Thanksgiving is coming up next week. Take some time and just be thankful, man. Be thankful that right now you have life in your body. You're healthy. You're alive to see another day. You have your family. Like, you are fully functional. Just be thankful, man. And that's the message I want to leave you guys with going into the holiday. I know a lot of people get caught up in Christmas and things like just enjoy time with your family. Think about those who do not have family and just be thankful for the things that you have, man. I'm extremely thankful for my health, my family, my beautiful family, my children, my sanity, my friends, you guys, everything, right? So just take time to be thankful. And I hope you guys have an amazing Thanksgiving holiday. Even the Cowboys play. We'll talk about that, right? But I kind of want to spin that message, man, just to be thankful, man, and show some appreciation, man. If you haven't already, follow me on all social media platforms, JTuck151. I apologize, Cowboys TikTok, because I got a lot of subscribers and followers on TikTok, but I hate the app, to be honest with y'all. It's too clunky, right? But appreciate, all the subscribers, the followers. CFO Sports, subscribe to the channel, like, share, get the awareness out there. The merch store is down below, down bottom, CFOsportstalk.com. You can use the code CFOgang to get 10% off, man. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys, man. I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and go Cowboys. Peace.